let me just, there. So, you miss a version of yourself you never fully got to be. That's what that feeling is, isn't it? I don't know if anyone's ever named it for you like that, but that's what it is. You'll be, I don't know, washing a mug, putting your shoes on, standing in the kitchen waiting for the kettle. Nothing. You'll be doing nothing. And then this flash will land in you. Some version of you that did the thing, that moved when they were 23, that said yes to her, that sat down and actually wrote it. And for a second, just a second, you grieve them. You grieve someone who never even existed. It's a strange thing to be sad about. It really is. And most people, when they feel it, they push it away pretty quick. Because it doesn't really make sense, does it? To miss someone who never was there. What are you even sad about? You can't be missing them. They weren't anywhere. They weren't anywhere to be missed from. But you are missing them. You know you are. And you're not crazy for it. I've thought about this for a long time. And I want to tell you what I think it actually is. Because I don't think it's what most people assume. The thing people assume, and I used to assume this too, is that the version you're missing is the one that got crushed by fear or by bad timing or by the wrong people in the wrong year. And sure, I mean, that's part of it, of course. But that's not really what you're grieving. Because if it was just that, you'd feel angry. You'd be mad. Mad at yourself. Mad at your dad, maybe. Mad at whoever made you so careful when you were still small. And sometimes you are mad. But that's a different feeling. That's regret. Regret makes you clench your jaw. Regret makes you want to punch something. This other feeling, the missing, it's not like that at all. It's quieter. It's almost gentle. It's the way you'd miss someone you loved who passed away. And you don't feel that way about a person you're angry about. You feel that way about a person you cared about. So what is it? What are you actually missing? I think, and I might be wrong about this. I mean, I'm just your driver. But I think what you're missing isn't really a person. I think it's a way you used to be. Specifically, the way you used to want things. Because when you were younger, before whatever happened, you could just want something. You wanted to make films. You wanted to live by the sea. You wanted to be the funniest one at the table. And you didn't have to defend it. Not to your friends, not to your mom, not even to yourself. You just wanted it. It just sat there in you, plain as anything. And then somewhere along the way, life teaches you to be careful with what you want. Be reasonable. Don't say it out loud. Don't get your hopes up. And after enough years of that, you stop wanting things out loud, even in your own head. You start putting your wants away, like clothes you've decided you're too old for. The version of you that you miss is the one who hadn't put anything away yet. I think that's actually all it is. My wife. Okay, this is... Well, she used to make these lists when we were younger. Not goals, not big achievements, just lists of things she wanted to do at some point. Learn to skate, eat oysters somewhere in France. Silly little lists, she called them. And then one day she stopped making them. She didn't announce it. She didn't say I'm done with the list. I just noticed, eventually, that there weren't anymore. And I asked her about it years later. Years. And she sort of laughed, and she said, I don't really know when it stopped. I just did. And then she said something I've thought about every week of my life since. She said, I think I just decided I was past the age for lists. Past the age for lists. Can you imagine deciding that about yourself? And the worst part is, I know exactly what she meant. I know exactly the slow thing she's describing. It wasn't one moment. It was 100 small moments where she didn't quite let herself want what was on the list. And then eventually the list felt embarrassing. And then eventually there was no list. And that's how it goes mostly. Nobody decides to stop wanting things. It just happens. Slowly, while you're paying attention to something else. Anyway, here's the thing I really want to tell you. The thing I want you to actually hear. The fact that you can still feel the missing. That's the proof of something. That's proof that the version of you you're grieving is still in there. They haven't gone anywhere. They got covered up. They got quiet. They learned to keep their head down. But they didn't die. You don't ache for something that's gone. You ache for something that's still in you. When you feel that flash at the sink, that little stab of sadness out of nowhere, that's not a ghost. That's a version of you, somewhere down in there, trying to get your attention. They're saying, hey, I'm still in here. Are you ever going to listen? And most people don't. That's the sad part. Most people feel it, push it down, go back to their dishes, and it just keeps happening. For years, for decades. There are people walking around right now who've been getting that flash for 30 years, and they've never once stopped to ask what it's actually trying to say. They've built a whole life around not listening to it, and they are tired. They don't even know why they are tired. It's exhausting ignoring yourself for 30 years. But you can listen. You can. And listen. Listening doesn't mean what you think it means. It doesn't mean you become 22 again. It doesn't mean you quit everything and start over and move to the coast and become someone else. Sure, I mean, that can happen, but that's not the thing. That's not even what that version of you is asking for, honestly. That version of you isn't asking you to redo your life. They're just asking you to want something again. Out loud. Plainly. Even just to yourself. Even just for a minute in the kitchen while the kettle goes. You can want a thing without earning it first. You forget that. People forget. You don't have to justify it. You don't have to make a case for why it's reasonable. You can just want it because you want it. And that's enough. That was always enough. That was the whole thing. Back when you were small and didn't know yet that you were supposed to be careful. And the version of you that still knows that, they're not lost. They never were. They're the one making you stop at the sink. They're the one putting that little ache in your chest while the mug drips. So, the next time it happens, when that flash lands, even if you don't know what to do with it, even if you can't act on it in the moment, just sit with it for a second. Listen to what it's actually saying. It's not saying you failed, and it's not saying you missed your life. It's saying there's still something in you that wants to want things plainly. And that's a good thing to know about yourself. Because the grief isn't goodbye. It's a reminder. You're not mourning who you could have been. You're being visited by who you still are. So that's really all I wanted to say. I just want you to drop your shoulders and still want the things that made you to you. And that's who you are. Simply embrace it and never stop wanting things. Now, I do want another coffee.